Hello, everybody. My name is Lush Eisner, and welcome to the Canadian Money Talk, the channel about Canadian investing and personal finance. Please like and subscribe. I record 2 videos per week, so make sure you ring the notification bell to get notified each time one comes out. Now, I had found in my internet travels the average net worth and retirement savings for Canadians. So you can compare yourself to other Canadians. You may be happy or disappointed, and if you're behind, please use this as a driver to improve your net worth and your retirement savings, not to give up. So let's look at net worth by age. Net worth is calculated by taking your assets less liabilities, or you could look at it as what you own versus what you owe. You should have a very good idea of the number and update it every few months at least. And as you're watching it go up, that should be encouraging you to do even more. So let's start by age, which is a major driver of net worth since it determines how long you have been working and accumulating your wealth. So, do you ever wonder how your net worth compares to other Canadians based on your age group? The numbers are countrywide, so specific locations will have different amounts. All the numbers are for 2022 in this section. As you would expect, it takes a very different level of wealth to make it to the top 1%, depending on your age. For example, to get into the top 1% in Canada, if you are between 25 to 29, it just takes slightly over 412,000. But for someone who's between 65 and 69, it takes slightly over 9,991,000 in 2022. And to make it into the top 1/10 of 1% or 0.1%, or the top 35,000 of wealth holders in Canada between the ages of 65 and 69, it takes slightly over $30 million. The median net worth by age for Canadians is shown here. Median means 50% of the population is above and 50% is below the stated number. Note that as people retire around 65, accumulation stops, and so the net worth comes down a bit. And only later, when people spend less, does accumulation begin again, or the investments just overpower the spending. Here you can see the top 1% of net worth by the different age groups in Canada. You need to have a net worth of the stated amount to be in the top 1%. The largest wealth by age group is for those in the 50 to 79 year group. Keep in mind, many younger Canadians graduate from college or university with college debt, so it takes time to accumulate wealth after age of 20. You reach your peak wealth near the standard retirement age of 65, after which point the wealth slowly declines as the spending exceeds the wealth accumulation into the later retirement years. This also makes sense because in your late career, you should be earning the most that you have ever earned. Finally, just for your interest, here are different percentiles and age combinations as far as net worth for Canadians. As an example, if you want to be in the top 5%, that is above 95% of other Canadians, and you're in your early 30s, you need to have at least 350,000 in net worth. Now let's zoom in on the top 1%. Since we all want to get there, let's take a look at the top 1% net worth Canadians. The data here is from 2019, and of course a lot has happened since then. So what's the top 1% net worth in Canada? Well, the threshold top 1% net worth in Canada is 6.3 million according to the 2019 data. That means according to 2019 data from Statistics Canada, the top 1% net worth Canadians have at least 6,300,000. And you'll note in the last column that this 1% of the population owns almost 25% of the Canadian wealth. Collectively, the top 20% of Canadians, those with 1 million net worth or more, hold almost 74% of the total wealth in Canada. Let's switch gears and look at the average net worth by location. The statistics here will be for the average net worth for 2022, And average is done by adding up all the net worths and dividing by the number of people. Ultra high net worth will skew the data to the upside, which is why I used median in the previous section. Location definitely matters. Certain cities have a high cost of living, bringing your net worth accumulation down, but could have real estate which went up a lot, which is part of your net worth. Finally, different locations have higher or lower incomes. So let's look at household income by province. For British Columbia, the average income per household is about 105,000. Alberta is 126,000. Ontario is 110. And Quebec is just over 85,000. So let's take a look at net worth by location. As a way of comparison, the average net worth per household in all of Canada is a little bit over 700,000. So by province, the average net worth is for BC 972,000, Ontario 736,000, Alberta 721, and Quebec trails a little bit with 484. Looking at a couple of specific cities, Vancouver is 1.1 million, in Toronto is almost a million, Calgary is 865,000, and Montreal is a little bit over 500,000 at 536. Let's take a look at average Canadian RRSP savings. This is so you can see how you are doing against the average Canadian RRSP. So what's the average Canadian RRSP at retirement? And keep in mind the average here is again a sum of the investments divided by the number of people. So someone with 2 million in their RRSP will skew the number up. You can assume the typical retirement age of 65 years old, and this would mean that the average retirement savings is around 283,000 for a household or economic family, again using 2019 data. The average RRSP savings by age in Canada is shown here. It's not amazing, but keep in mind that this is a moot point until the actual retirement happens, and that this is not the only source of income in retirement. People could have pension plans at work, TFSAs, and non-registered accounts, and of course, good old CPP and old age security. I'll discuss some of these in a second. Just to cover Canadians who may not have much in RRSPs but have significant savings, this is going to be the average Canadian savings by age. As we know, RRSP isn't the only retirement saving vehicle up for Canadians' uses. Looking at it from another angle and including things like the TFSA or pension savings and non-RRSP savings, the average savings at retirement age, assuming 65 is the typical retirement age, the average net worth at retirement is around 340,000. So I hope this has given you a look into how Canadians are doing with investing and finances, and you have something to use as a benchmark or a bar for where you are. But of course, everyone's different and lives their life differently. A doctor or dentist with huge earnings potential probably has a bunch of student debt at the start of their life, but makes up for it later in income. A permanently employed teacher or nurse doesn't need to save a lot because they will have a government pension when they need it, which will take care of them. If you have any requests on what you'd like me to cover in future videos, please put that in the comment section. If you'd like to get in touch, please reach out on any of these social media channels, and may you have a profitable day.